That leaves
There's only one
me
choice for this team.
for the Kings, a
Yeah.
Sacramento Kings. Is there? I mean, so I just picked Harrison Barnes. Was that the only choice? Or did I pick wrong?
Yeah, you picked incorrectly.
Ah,
But please make your case.
okay. I just I guess I'm so soured on so many of the Kings because I don't know, like I just thought De'Aaron Fox was going to be a fringe all star, or he was a fringe all star. I
To
thought
be
he'd make it at
fair,
some point.
he's looked that part since before the Halliburton trade. Like it's been basically since the new year. He's looked really good.
Do it for a year. You got to prove it now because I've gone to bat for him too many times. He's got to do it
I
before
ranked
I
him
jump back
ahead
on.
of Chris Paul in the NBA 100 entering last season.
Oh boy. Well, I didn't go that far. I did. I think I did say I put him on a list of something I did where, like dark horses to win a scoring title or something because he'd average like 25 and it still wasn't that efficient a couple of years ago. And so I was like, oh yeah, he could get to 30. Why not? Just get to the line a couple more times, make one extra three. We're there. I did not pick him. I picked Barnes just because I guess what I appreciate most about his game is the way that he's proved to be really effective in so many different ways. And that's so weird for a guy that came into the league as like a fifth option that was so mechanical. Like the analogy I used to use for him was he was like a character you'd make on 2K that you like gave 99 everything and then you handed the controller to someone who didn't know what the buttons were. So it was like all of his drives would be totally mechanical and weird stops and starts and it didn't work. But then he would do you remember the dunk he had on Nikola Pekovic? Like as his first or second year, it's like an all-timer. And so athletically, he was just unlimited. He developed into a really good three-point shooter, but just it never was there. And then he goes to Dallas, and he's like one of the best isolation scorers in the league for a year plus. And it's just that's the absolute last thing you would have ever expected from him based on the buttons thing. And then he just keeps getting better. This year it's a couple days old now, but he's at 63% true shooting, which is like 60% is the bar of like this is an elite efficient scorer.
Right.
And he's doing it on a bad team, which in this case I'm using to say like that's harder because he's not being set up, especially now that Tyrese Halliburton's gone. So his degree of difficulty is kind of up there. He just does whatever he's asked to do. I haven't gone to this, gone to the well on this one yet, but in terms of like a locker room guy, the adult in the room thing, like he's an A+ there. That matters. That never gets factored into the underrated, overrated calculus. Fine on defense as long as you're not asking him to play small forward. He can't do that anymore. But yeah, like he shoots 38% every year since 14-15, other than when he from deep, other than the Dallas years when he was like suddenly a number one option and his shot difficulty just went way up. So I think Harrison Barnes is like you cannot describe him without using the term solid, and you're kind of getting dangerous if you say he's better than that. But there's immense value to me in a guy that just like is there every night on both ends and is zero maintenance and is able to play like depending on the circumstances just in a ton of different ways, which I think speaks to like his lack of ego where he's just going to do what is asked of him. So I'm curious who the only pick was going to be.
I will say you did make a pretty compelling case.
I thought about it a lot. I won't lie.
I'm not surprised that you picked a former Warrior, to be honest with you.
No,
but
shouldn't be.
So, and I think by the way, I ranked him as one of the worst contracts in the NBA, like in the middle of his last deal with Dallas, because it was just like they had him in this role where he was the focus of their offense, didn't get to the free throw line, and his efficiency in isolation was like still above league average, but it wasn't a league average offensive output if that's your most important source of it. And I'm now at the point, and this is for the Kings, I'm like, they need to extend this guy after this season. He has 1 year and $18.4 million left. If he wants to stick around and he's willing to extend off that number, do it, because I think he's crucial to making the Sabonis and Fox pairing work.